Good morning, welcome to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss altcoins. Altcoins are doing well, they are breaking out during this weekend, showing potential for the markets as Bitcoin is just consolidating and even Ethereum is consolidating right now. After Bitcoin and Ethereum consolidate, you will see that other altcoins will start to follow through. There's a question whether you should be looking at the USDT pairs and Bitcoin pairs, but we will be diving into a few of those both on a USDT pair and on a Bitcoin pair. So before that, do not forget to subscribe beneath, like the YouTube update, and do not forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I'm doing daily content on the markets, and today I'm also doing a Q&A on Instagram. When we are going towards the altcoins, you can see that there is a money flow cycle, and I've got a picture of one of my friends, Rect Capital, who's also producing content in the cryptocurrency world, and he describes the cycle that there is regarding the markets. First Bitcoin runs, then the large caps, usually first Ethereum runs, and then the other large caps start to follow through. Then mid caps start to be waking up, and then finally low caps will be doing well. And that's actually what we can see right now. We did see Bitcoin waking up nicely. It's consolidating beneath the resistance level at 51k. And after that, Ethereum broke out heavily towards 4k. That one starts to consolidate at this point. And you can see that Litecoin is waking up as well. And other altcoins are following through at this stage. Are we going to see such a big alt season right now, given the fact that Bitcoin is just hovering around 51k and showing potential for the altcoins to start accelerating, while some actually have been making heavy new all-time highs like Solana? When we are getting towards the charts, the first one I wanted to discuss is the coin Litecoin. It's still not at the previous high in May, and that shows that there is still big potential for coins like this. They haven't been moving at all, and therefore they grant you an opportunity at this stage, given that some other altcoins have been moving heavily already and do not grant you such an entry, but it still is in the middle of hype. So when there is a ton of hype surrounding a project, the chart goes vertical, you don't really want to get into any trade at all at that point. So when we're looking at Litecoin, we can see that it's just barely breaking out. And after such a breakout, you will see that retests are done on previous levels before it continues to the upside. So on the left, we can see that retest, another retest here. Some retests are done in those impulse waves here too. Another retest, impulse wave, and heavy correction since. So in every upwards move, we get retests of lower levels before we can continue moving. So Litecoin just broke out and started to run upwards. So it broke out above $185 to 190, and it started to run towards the next resistance zone around 240 bucks. So where do you want to take the entry at this point? You want to look based on a daily time frame on the retest that it's making here around 190 bucks. If it does make that retest, it will show you and grant you the best opportunity at this stage given the current market information that you have. What are the targets for Litecoin? Those are found at 250 bucks and the second one around 300 bucks. Those are the first levels where you could be looking at some take profits. When we are looking at Litecoin in the Bitcoin pair, we can also see that we have been breaking out upwards. The overall chart is just yikes, it's still trending south. It also shows that the real alt season didn't even start yet. We are still just consolidating with most of the altcoins. But when we're looking at the zoomed in chart at this point, we can see that the trend has shifted. And I've discussed this yesterday in the small update too. We've shifted the trend from lower highs, lower lows towards higher lows, higher highs, right? This means that if you want to get an entry on Litecoin and if you expect it to do well, the Bitcoin pair grants you massive information in order for you to describe or to get information whether Litecoin or altcoins are a better case than Bitcoin at a certain point. If Litecoin is somewhere in this region or somewhere there, that is not an entry point for you to look at. So if you want to take the entry for Litecoin, this is the range that you could be looking at for the Bitcoin pair. And when I'm saying something is not an entry point at this stage, I'm meaning coins like Solana. Yes, it's doing well. Yes, it's a great ecosystem. Yes, Sam is also doing well with his project and FTX. But even though someone is doing great with his project or the project is building heavily, it doesn't automatically mean that you should be taking the entry. When something goes vertical like this, to me it is take profit time, and second, I'm going to derive entry points in a very relaxed manner based on the daily time frames. So if you want to get into Solana, I think the chances are gone, and the previous charts show how heavy the correction can be. So where are you looking at for the potential trade on this one? Aggressive approach is the first block around 110 bucks. Second approach, also kind of aggressive, is around 96. But the primarily trade that is probably not going to be happening in the short term is around 80 bucks. These three ranges, these three levels, I would be taking as very important to watch if you want to get in such a coin as this, as it just basically went vertical and it has to do some retest at some point. At some point means that it can take weeks before you get there, but at least you're taking lower risk in your trades. When we're looking at the Bitcoin pair, we can see the exact same. So you're not going to take the trade when something goes vertical like this. We are looking at a potential retest of previous levels for support. So we are looking at 23k sets as a potential level. We are looking at 20k sets as a potential level, and the third one is around 16k sets. And when you're looking at altcoins that didn't move at all at this point, one of them is Tezos. We've discussed it earlier, and it has been moving nicely already, but it's still in the accumulation range. So we just showed Litecoin. I've also showed a few other altcoins already on my YouTube channel. Tezos is one of those that just didn't move at all yet, while Solana did. So where can you get the most upside potential at this point? That is in projects that are not being discussed so much on social media. Tezos has hit the resistance here on the Bitcoin pair, but as we described just now with the levels that you should be looking at, based on the daily time frame, you're looking at 9k sets and this region for a potential entry on this one. And it is also flipping the 100-day and 200-day MA, through which continuation is very likely to be taking place on this one. When we're looking at the USDT pair, we're going to look at a potential corrective move in which we want to buy the dip. So previous resistance levels and support levels, that is a level that we could be looking at, in which the first real level for Tezos to watch is $4.40. If we are not going to get there, if Litecoin is not going to get that retest, you simply do not take the entry and you're going to look at another entry to go forward with. So I hope you have enjoyed this update. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new one. Enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your race, and have a great day. Bye bye.